The company's site in Frank, West Virginia. It's now the East Fork Development Park, Industrial Park. What you're looking at now is what we refer to as Lagoon Number 1. It was built back in 1965, and this is the one that's presently being cleaned. The sludge is being hauled across and put on the concrete pads where the former House Leather Company buildings once stood. It's being mixed supposedly about 2/3 sawdust to 1/3 mixture of sludge. As we pan around, we're looking at Lagoon Number 2. And this was built in 1969. And also on the back side of that is Lagoon Number 3, which was built about a year later. As we look at this bankway along here, formerly this was wide enough to carry a bulldozer. They had bulldozers around the top of it when they built us how wide it was. In the summer of 1996, they had a local resident with a bulldozer to cut the side off of this lagoon. Made it look a little bit better, but it's put it into a very precarious state here. And as we walk along, we'll look at the width of this embankment at this time, and keeping in mind that we got probably in excess of 20,000 tons of sludge in these two lagoons here. Should this wall break away, and we're getting some seepage through it all along, it's getting very soft on the top. Should that break away, looking into the background, looking south, you're looking at the East Fork of the Greenbrier River. As we pan around, we're looking at John's Run, which is a tributary of the East Fork of the Greenbrier River, with the confluence at the lower end of the house property. As you can see, to get some perspective of the width of the top of this lagoon here, this gentleman's walking, and it's probably about 2 foot wide there. And this embankment's about 12 to 14 feet down to the roadway. The depth of this lagoon is about the same. As you can see this close up here, the water from this sludge is beginning to overrun this embankment and seepage down over towards this roadway. This is Lagoon Number 3. It's got a little bit more water on top of the sludge than Number 2 has, but it also has had the bankway cut away, and there's some seepage along that embankment looking south. East Fork of the Greenbrier River's right back in the background. This is the embankment between Lagoon Number 2 and Number 3. This was the approximate width of the embankment along the roadway on Number 1 and 2 before it was cut away. The lagoon you're looking at now is considered Number 4 lagoon. And it was built around 1970, and this was the primary operating lagoon of House Leather Company Tannery. All the industrial waste was pumped up into this lagoon daily and then pumped back to the treatment plant where it was treated. Although it's covered with water now, the banks seem pretty secure on this one. And there's probably an average of 5 to 6 foot of sludge all over the bottom of this, and probably 8 to 9 in the lower end where it was pumped in. And this is looking south. And around east from the primary lagoon, this lagoon here was known as the Liquor Lagoon, and of course that's tanning liquors. Was pumped up, the excess was pumped into this lagoon when the tannery was operating. There is probably 3 to 4 foot of tannin sludge on the bottom of this, and the rest of it's covered with water. It's approximately 7 to 8 feet deep. As you can see, the water has been almost to the top of the thing at various times. You can see the stain around there. Of course, right over that embankment is John's Run, probably within 40 to 50 feet of that embankment. Again, this is the primary operating lagoon that you're looking at, and this has a bentonite clay liner in the bottom of it, which should seal the thing off as far as groundwater contamination. The other two lagoons that you saw previously are unlined, as the Liquor Lagoon is unlined. Directly east of the primary operating lagoon is what's known as the Clearwater Operating Lagoon. This is the last one built by Howes, and it does have the rubber liner in it. It's approximately 13 million gallon storage. And you're looking south, it runs almost to the east fork of the Greenbrier River. And we pan around east over the embankment back into the Liquor Lagoon, which again is an unlined lagoon. And we're looking east at the sludge sawdust mixture back north. And the agreement from the Department of Natural Resources to the Development Authority in July of 1996 stated that a retaining wall must be erected. All runoff water from this sewage must be caught and treated. As you can see, it's free flowing. Goes anywhere it wants to go to. Looking at is the main sump. When the plant was running, all the tannery effluent was pumped into this sump. It was pumped from here back up to the lagoons. It's about a 14-foot deep square holding tank. Pumps are located inside this building. But now we see we've got a ditch cut directly into John's Run. It's very interesting. Interesting here that looks to be about a 3-inch siphoning line running down into the water, and we'll follow this and see where it goes. We'll be heading towards the east fork of the Greenbrier River. This is right in our background. Now what we'll do is trace this line and see where it comes out at. appears to be a siphoning pump here laying on the ground right by this line that's siphoning out of this primary lagoon. Okay, it looks apparently like the level of that water is dropping approximately 1 foot. A wet water line on the edge of the bank.
Killed the siphon.
The siphoning line that we found in the primary lagoon down through by the river, and apparently it's discharged into the line that ordinarily would carry the effluent back from the primary lagoon to the treatment plant. We followed it around and found it in this sump building. And as we look at this sign, it says Howell's Leather Company outfall number 001, permit number WV0001121. And we'll look inside this building here, if light's permitting, and see that same water running over that weir. We'll see that it's running into the discharge line, which runs directly into the East Fork of the Greenbrier River. We were just in that small building right there where the weir discharge is, and we'll follow this line down through. And as we pan around, you'll see that this is the line that runs to the East Fork of the Greenbrier River. There's really no doubt in my mind that water is flowing into the Greenbrier River. Of course, you can see this discharge pipe has holes in the side of it, particularly across the width of the river. That water's being discharged to be mixed with the fairly good flow in the river, and we would not be able to detect it at this point. Sawdust area from the interstate hardwoods production to have going on in this building. It's formerly the Howell's Leather Company hide house building. As you can see, the sawdust being blown out on the ground.
Did you say that?